So I've never been this nervous about a submission before. So if you remember, if you've been following the channel, I submitted some books and they came back with mostly purple labels, and they were mostly Silver Age books, or all Silver Age books. So it was disappointing, and all I had done was dry clean those books, and I had bought them from several different sources, so the odds that, you know, they all were restored, wet cleaned, whatever, CGC just put cover cleaned as the restoration note. What I did is I just picked 3 of them. I didn't want to resend them all, because if they all come back purple again, I mean, I've just wasted all that money. So I picked 3, and I resubmitted them, but in addition, I went ahead and submitted 2 books that I've never sent before, and I resubmitted a book that CFP Pressing had submitted a couple of years ago that had come back with a purple label, Color Touch. So I tried to remove the Color Touch myself. I tried to find it. I think I found it, and I removed it, and I resubmitted it. So let me get this unboxed and rip this off like a Band-Aid, because I can't stand it. I gotta know what happened. So yeah, this is Tuma Dracula, number 1. I've never owned this book before. I bought it as a 5.0 slab, and I forget, it just had bends all over it. That's, if I remember correctly. That was, for the most part, what was wrong with it. So, cleaned, pressed it, and I was hoping to get as high as a 7.0, but anything 6.0, 6.5, 7.0 will make it worth it on this book. So, let's go ahead and see if we're off to a good start here. And yeah, once again, this is one of the books I did not submit before. This is the first time, and I did get the blue label, so that's good. So yeah, let's see what CGC thinks. Okay, we went from a 5.0 to a 6.0. That's off-white to white pages. I mean, that's a full grade bump. I mean, I should be happy. I think this book is higher than a 6.0. I'm going to disagree. This is a little bit harsh, I think. Man, I'll have to look at the grader's notes on it. But I'm pretty sure this is at least a 6.5. And I'm usually pretty conservative. So yeah, not sure why. There's a little bit of a stain right here, a very small one. Maybe that's why. Maybe it was capped. But we'll definitely still be happy to go 5.0 to 6.0. I mean, that's still a win. The next one is a book I've had for a long time. I bought it back right when I first started getting back into collecting. Got a good price on it. And it was ultra high grade. Now, the only real flaw on this book is one little tiny scratch here. Everything else is pretty negligible on this book. This is pristine for being a 1966 book. It's got some, yellowing on it, standard stuff for that era. Once again, we did get the blue label. This is the first time I've submitted this book as well. But I mean, man, this thing looks tremendous. This is by far probably the nicest Silver Age book I've ever owned. So very curious to see what CGC thinks. So when I got this in, I thought it was about a 7.5, but with very pressable defects on it. And I'm hoping to get as high as an 8.5. But very, very curious to see what CGC thinks of this high-grade Silver Age book. Okay, we got an 8.0. Wow, that's lower. Definitely have to look at the grader's notes on this again. That's pretty harsh, man. I gotta say, I'm really conservative. Without that scratch, this is a 9.4, at least, I think. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed in that. Happy to have the 8.0, but this is not an 8.0 book. Yeah, this is an 8.5 at least. I mean, I know that you think that 8.0 and 8.5 are pretty much the same, but it's not. I mean, there's a far cry difference between 8.5 and 8. Look at the spine. Tell me what your opinion is. What grade do you think this book is? I see 9.2, 9.4s. There's that scratch I'm talking about. It's just it probably looks worse on video than it does in person. There's some streaks on this case, scratches on this case that are not on the book. Okay, we'll just move on. A little bit disappointed, but so it'll make up for it though if the books that I submitted that were purple labels are not purple anymore. We'll completely forget about that if that's the case. So the first one I'd resubmitted. Now this was hard to do without me looking to see whether it's blue or yellow or purple. Try doing this with your eyes closed. Putting this, but I managed to do it. I got all of them done without looking at the label, all by feel. So this is a book that I've had. This is a childhood book. Now I didn't buy it off the stand because I wasn't born yet, but I did get this when I was about 9 years old. So yeah. Love this book. It's not a high value key or anything like that, but it is Iron Man 2. It's an old book, and it came back purple. I was disappointed. I didn't think CFP had done a very good job pressing the thing. You can check some of my old videos on my disappointments with when I did use a presser. And actually that's what caused me to get into cleaning and pressing myself, was that bad experience. So it came back a 9.2. Now this book does not look as nice as the one you just saw, 42. This was where the restoration was, right here. And I'll wait till I reveal. And actually it just revealed itself a little bit here. So let's just go ahead and reveal it. Did we get the blue label? We did. It kind of went like that. But yeah, so we got the blue label. So very happy about that. That's the first step. So the restoration was right here. And somebody had taken a black marker, and I was able to scrape that off. I'm curious to see. It was a 9.2 before, so I don't have any idea. I'm just hoping maybe 8.5 would be good. I'd be happy to have an 8.5 in this book. But whatever it is. I got the restoration off, so let's see what this grader thinks about this book. Wow. So just scratching off a little bit of restoration and then doing a better job of pressing the book is going to land me that harshly. This was a 9.2. I mean, I'm glad to have the blue label, don't get me wrong. And probably there's not a huge price difference, luckily, in this one. I mean, 7.5, 9.2, there is a big difference, but it's not, like, ridiculous, you know. Okay, so, I mean, I'm not going to belabor the point. A little disappointed, but it is what it is, man. I'm probably not going to resubmit, you know. These are the ones that came in. This is the one we've been waiting for. I mean, this is the whole reason for this video was these 3 books coming up. And yeah, so these are the ones I'm nervous about. These were purple labels, and all I had done was dry clean them. They were from 3 different people, purchased from 3 different people. So the odds of them all doing restoration on it before they sold it to me, I mean, statistically speaking, I think I just got a grader that decided he was going to give purple labels that day. So this one was a 4.5 when I bought it. I was hoping it would get 5.5 and ended up getting 6.0. So I didn't really do anything. I just resubmitted it. I mean, that's it. Nothing else. So let's see. Did it get the blue label, first of all? Okay. Step 1, success. That one, yeah, very happy about that one. Very cool to have that in a blue label now. It's just a little bit of validation that all I did was dry clean this book. There is no restoration, at least from my end. I mean, it's just dry cleaned. And so yeah, very happy. I love this cover. It's one of my favorites, John Romita. And very happy to. So let's see what the grade is. Last time they graded at 6.0. Let's see what he did this time. Okay, we did retain that grade, so that's very good. So very glad to get this from a 6.0 purple to a 6.0 blue. All right. Now, my really nice copy of Amazing Spider-Man 62 is next. This one came back purple as well. And the reason I think this might have been, this was one of the early ones in the process. This is one of the first ones. I think it was near the top of my list when I got it graded. And look how white that is. You just don't find this book this white. So I think that's what it is. I think the grader thought, man, that's got to be whitened, right? And then he just kind of got on a, you know, it just kind of was compounded from there. Every book he started seeing whitening or whatever. Or chemical cleaning. It said cover cleaned, whatever that means. Whitening, cleaning. I'm not sure what cover cleaned even means. How is that defined by CGC? So yeah, when I got it in, I thought it was a 8.0, and I'm hoping it's an 8.5. It came back an 8.5 purple label before. So first of all, did we get the purple again? Okay. Scared me there for a second. I saw this purple tape. This I shouldn't have used that. That was not nice. But yeah, okay. Blue label. Very good. Very happy for that. So, and did we get the 8.5 or did we get lower? That is just this is a 6.5? Okay. What's going on here? Is that a 6.5? You tell me. Do you think this is a 6.5? I did nothing else to this book. How is it now a 6.5? There's a tear in that staple that wasn't there before. That staple has a little tear in it now. Like the staple's almost popping. I hope they didn't pop my staple. That would do it. I mean, if they popped a staple on me. It looks like it's popped right there. So that's probably what it is. I'll check the grader's notes. That's disappointing. I think the grader was a little careless, or whoever was handling the book, and then just gave me a 6.5 from an A. Probably should have left it purple or kept it raw. Yeah, that's massively disappointing. I mean, I'll probably sell it now just because I couldn't stand to look at it, but somebody's going to get the best presenting 6.5 in the history of comics when I sell this thing. Wow, okay. Yeah, just got to move on. Last one, probably one of my favorite books I've ever owned. And this is a PC book, which made it extremely disappointing when this came back a purple label. Man, that thing looks good. Look how well that book presents. Now, it's not a high-grade copy. When I got it in, I thought it was a 4.5, and I was hoping it would get 5.5. And it actually ended up getting a 6.5. So I was tremendously happy about that. And you know what? I can't wait. I got to know, did this thing... Whew! Man, I'm nervous. Can we go 3 for 3? 4 for 4, actually? Okay. Thank you. Very happy to have the blue labels. Not happy with the grades, obviously, but, you know, baby steps, right? I guess it'd be better to have the lower grades blue than purple. I don't know, man. It's very disappointing, and why couldn't the guy just give me blue label the first time with the grades he gave me? Then I wouldn't have had to go through this. Because these obviously are not restored books. Came back a 6.5, which was way higher than I expected. But I would be happy with the 5.5 now. Based on what I've been seeing so far with the harshest grader at CGC apparently. So let's see. It's getting worse and worse. 2.5. 6.5 to 2.5. I almost want to say that top staple is doesn't look right. It's hard to see from here, but I think that staple might be popped now. So that would be the second staple popped potentially. That one looks like it's still attached. So it's not two staples popped. What? There are some big bends right here on the bottom that were not there when I submitted it. Right there and there. I pressed this book. There's no way that it would revert that far. There's a bend here and a bend here. It looks like the spine is like collapsed a little bit right here. And there's a chunk out the bottom here that was not there before. There was a chunk out the front cover, a chip. But this was not out, I don't believe. This looks like it's been dropped. I think somebody might have dropped that book at CGC because this is crunched in a little bit. But it looks like it was crunched and then somebody kind of did like that. I almost think somebody bumped it or did something with this book, but you know, I'll check that. Obviously, I don't know. I'm just guessing based on what I'm seeing here. So, yeah, talk about, you know, highs and lows, right? They give me the high of the blue label versus the purple, but then dash my hopes by, I've never had grades like this come back. This is my harshest grades ever. I don't think I've ever had a submission where I had more than 1 or 2 grades that were below what I anticipated. So I am pretty much in shock. I'm happy with the blue labels. And I'm going to keep this book. I mean, it's the same book. I still love it. I'm going to display it. But I would much rather it be a 6.5. So yeah, that's it for today. A little bit disappointed, but at least we got the blue labels right. So stay nerdy, and I'll see you in the next video.